That is pretty amazing. And that's the kind of stuff that we can learn from the language. Not just about the language, but from the language. Because would you have ever thought that? No, hey. That's pretty awesome to know that, I think.
I think so. And imagine a yellow carrot.
I've seen a purple one, but that's
Yeah.
But that shows us that we knew about the vegetable before people started tinkering with it. Right? We knew what it was originally. And to me, that is pretty awesome. And this is the kind of stuff that you can learn about as you study the language and you learn more about the language, especially if you're really interested in it. Ask why. You know what I mean? So that's just some of the stuff that I've learned since I started. Like I said, not learning the language, but learning about the language. And to me, it's so amazing to learn this stuff and to be able to understand how we thought and how we did things so many years ago. Because it's all in our language. It shows us. So, with that said, let's take a look at our books that we got. Stay. All right. So we're going to look at our Smith-Francis orthography. So let's start with a simple question. How many letters in the alphabet for English?
26.
26. How many do you think is in the Meatball language?
7.
Double.
What, 27?
11.
11?
There's 11 consonants and 6 vowels.
Wow.
That's it.
13?
13.
What
You want a
13?
calculator?
13.
No, there's 11 consonants and 6 vowels.
Oh, 6. Oh, 17. Yeah, that's right. I didn't hear the first part.
Ah, see? Now, let's practice our vowels. So, around here I know there's a good possibility you guys might know or at least hear French sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys too?
Charlie.
Not really? No French at all ever?
Listen to her.
Okay. Well, let's try this. How do we? What sound does an A make in English?
A. It's like
Ah.
A. There's a lot of apple, right? Or what's another word with A in it?
Apricot.
Q's.
A round?
Q.
Yeah? So it sounds like
Ah.
So if you know a bit of French, our vowels are like almost exactly the same as French. So instead of it's
Ah.
I want to hear back.
Ah.
A,
A.
E,
E.
O,
U.
and that's A, E, I, O, and U. So the only ones that can get a bit confusing, the A's aren't too bad. The E is a little bit confusing sometimes. And the I sounds like an E, so that one gets a little confusing. But you notice how I only did 5, right? There's one more. There's still one. So the other vowel is called a schwa. Schwa. And that sounds a little bit like a punch to the tummy. So hang on, hear me out. It goes. Try it.
Scarlett?
Oh, like
Yeah.
Not a big one. It's really short.
Come on, Charlie.
There you
Do it.
go. And that's our sixth. That's our 6th vowel in Mi'kmaq. The schwa. Yeah. So most of the vowels, most of them, aren't too bad. They sound the same as they do in English. So the M sounds like the M, the N sounds like the N. Those ones you won't have a problem with. They sound exactly how you're used to sounding. But, except, this is what we got our sheet for. There are a couple of differences. So we'll start with the Q. What does a Q sound like in English?
Cute, cute.
Why?
Between a K and a W?
Yeah. So what do you think it sounds like in big one?
No, forget it. Cat. Real guttural sound.
Ah, you're getting there, you're getting there. All right. Has anybody ever had the flu?
Anybody what?
Yeah. Anybody ever had the flu? You know how like your throat gets all yucky and you're trying to get everything in your throat?
Yeah. Yes.
This is gonna be a funny noise. I want everybody to try it. Go. So it's called a rolling H, and it's very guttural. It's back of your throat. So if you relax the back of your tongue and let it vibrate a little when you do the H, it'll do it. So I want you to do a really big one for practice, but when we use it, it's really small. So we'll go. That's pretty good. So when we do it in language, when we speak, it's just. There you go. That's not bad. Not so hard, right? Awesome. So that is one exception. So our other exceptions are on the first page, and these ones are kind of tricky, especially when someone is first learning to speak. So the P, so we're used to hearing P and thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it don't sound like that. It sounds like buh, like a ball.
It sounds more like a bee.
Uh-huh. So our example, and I want to hear everybody, is biscuit.
Biscuit.
That's good.
Biscuit.
And that is come in.
Biscuit.
Biscuit. Oh my God.
Yeah. So if someone came to your door that you actually like, I want them in your house, they'll knock on the door. You open the door and you say, biscuit.
Biscuit.
So you're telling
Biscuit.
one person to come in. Just one though, not a bunch, just one.
There's 15,000 people at your door.
That'd be a different word. I think it'd be go away.
Go
I don't,
away.
you're not fitting all them people in my house.
Go away, Jigalasi.
K-wall. What is a K-wall? What if we two people afterwards?
Nope. Okay. So, our next letter that tends to be different is the T. So, it don't sound like T in toy, it sounds like a D.
Dog.
Like dog.
Like dogs.
Dog. So, an example of this, I want everybody to do it, you gotta do with attitude now. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
That's a command verb, and you're telling someone, get out. Go. Get out.
Yeah, I'll get out.
Get out of my house.
That's definitely the.
You know, if you've been inside,
Out of my house.
if you've been inside playing video games way too long, and Mama wants you outdoors playing, do it. Go play. Get outdoors.
He's playing Minecraft right there. I see you, baby.
So we have two more that are just a little bit different. Okay? So the first one, the next one, is the K. So instead of sounding like the K in kick, it sounds like the G in go. Yeah. And our example for this one is gay.
Okay.
And gay means please.
Gay. Gay?
Yeah.
Gay.
I thought K mean okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay. Gay. Gay means please. Yep. And that one's kind of important because we need to use that one a lot, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Especially if you really want something bad. Okay. Baby, okay.
Why is it baby boy gay?
What?
I'm pretty sure you just say baby boy gay.
No. Bedouin. Gay. Bedouin is please tea. Tea.
What is tea?
Tea. I like my tea. I like my tea. And the last one that can be a little different is the J. Now, if there's only one, it does still sound like a J. It's not too bad. But if you get two next to each other in the word, it sounds more like a CH in the word like church. So, our example for that one would be mucho. So, mucho,
He's started.
mucho, mucho, mucho. There you go. And that's his father. So if I was talking to you about his father, which is him over there.
Yes, we know that.
Yes, I know.
Well, I know you know that. I just meant that's the word.
Just don't call me a woodchuck.
Yeah. Okay. But if there was only one J, it wouldn't be so bad. It'd still sound like the J. And our example is jugue.
Chikue. Chikue. In here.
Jugue.
Chikue.
Jugue.
Chikue.
So you know what I'm saying, right? Jugue. Come here. Exactly. Come here. Jugue. There you go. So those are the letters in the Mi'kmaq language that sound just a little bit different. So when you think about it, the vowels that sound like French and those 4, 5 letters that sound a little bit different, that's actually not that much to remember, really.
Putting it all together.
Yeah, well, and that's what takes time. Now, here's the other thing that I really like about Mi'kmaq language. So you know how in English, we have words that when you look at them, you're like, that's not how that's spelled. That makes no sense. Why is that there? That letter, I do not hear that letter at all.
Philosophy. Doesn't start with an F, does it?
Exactly. There is a lot of words in the English language that have hidden rules that you have to take the time to learn if you want to be able to spell English properly, right? However, with Mi'kmaq, if you hear it, it's there. That's it. That's not so bad. So if you learn them rules that I just give you, there's a few other in there, but those ones, if you start with those ones, that's not so bad. You'd be able to figure out how the word is supposed to sound. And that's not so daunting then. When you really think about it, I mean, you were saying, oh, your memory's so horrible. 5 letters and 6 consonants. That's not bad. I should say consonants. I mean, not continents. That's a whole other place. Anyway, but I mean, 11 letters. That's not bad. When you really think about it. Don't get me wrong, there's lots of other little nuances that we can look at today, and we will, but for a really good start, especially for the young ones, that's not a lot to remember. So let's look at our vowels again. So we're going to do a little practice now. So we're going to do what's called a long vowel and a short vowel. Now they have that in French too, I think. I think so. The thing to remember is when it's written, and if you look at our last example, the jugue, that come here, that has an apostrophe in it. So if you take a look, that's not a big thing. And there are some people found it really scary. It's not scary. What that apostrophe means is you hold that sound just a little bit. That's not bad. It doesn't change the sound. The sound is the same. It's just a little longer. So you'll see them on vowels, and you'll see them on some consonants sometimes, usually the beginning of the word. And that's That's not a big deal. You just hold this out a little longer. So for our vowels, let's practice them. We'll do a long one and a short one, and we're going to start with the A. So, ah, ah, A, A, E, E,
I'm gonna.
O, O, Now, there's one exception to that long sound. You will never see an apostrophe on a schwa, ever. He's the fast one. He likes to go. It's only a short sound you'll ever see on that. And it goes, and that's it. That's the vowels. Your long vowels and your short vowels. Not bad, right?
No.
Not bad. So, I'm going to take a word. Turn your papers over.
Turn your papers over, guys.
Turn them over so you can't see them. It's not going to be as hard as you think.
Oh no.
Now, I'm going to say a word, and I want you to say it back, but then I want you to tell me what the first letter is in that word. Not so bad, right? Okay, neen. I want to hear it. Neen. What's the first letter in that word?
E.
Neen.
Sounds like an
So
N,
it-
but
N. No, you're right.
Oh, okay, we thought it was something tricky.
No, see, I told you
No,
it's not as
it's
hard
not.
as y'all think.
It's not one of the complicated ones.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't say it was going to be really hard. I told you, you guys got this. All right. Now this one you're going to think about. Gadu. G. Okay. Gadu. Remember, the K sounds like a G. So gadu.
Gadu.
I want to hear you. Gadu.
Gadu.
There you go. One more time. Gadu. And that means what? What? Which one? What?
What's
Get out,
all
get out.
an H?
Get
What?
out. Oh, no, I don't know.
H.
Gadu.
No. What does it mean?
Gadu is what?
Oh, it's what?
Means what? Like what are you doing? What? What is that? What?
What are you
What are
doing?
you
Gadu.
saying?
Gadu. Gadu.
Yeah. What? All right.
See if you can remember that word after. No.
I won't.
Okay. Was this all right? Was it? Williach.
William.
Williach.
Yeah.
There you go. And what letter does it start with?
W.
W?
W.
Yeah.
See? It's not so bad. It's really not. All right. Let's try another one. With a different letter.
I got one. Gui.
William.
Mish, hello. Hi.
Way.
Gui.
So way.
Q.
Gui.
K, sorry.
Whoa.
K.
K. Sorry, K.
So way.
Way.
Starts. First, I want to hear everybody. Way.
Way.
Better.
K.
So, and that starts with K. That's not bad. All right. How about this one? Now, this one we're gonna practice. This one's gonna be a little funny. So, ready? So, Halibu. I want to hear everybody. Halibu. What letter does that start with?
Q.
Sounds like a Q, but
No, you're right.
And it means caribou.
That means caribou. That's one word, guys. That's one word we should all be able to say.
That's right.
We're from the Halibu band.
And a lot of people cannot.
I know.
Can't pronounce even the
I
Q's.
know.
oh yeah. No,
I've heard people pronounce it quillaboo.
I've heard a lot of different.
Different versions.
Yeah,
And a lot of
but
people would just say, well, they say in one nation.
Charlie.
yeah, there's a lot of different ones out there that you will hear, but it's actually pronounced Halibu. Nice. All right. So, how about mesque?
Mesque.
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 What?
Sad.
I'm sad.
Okay.
So you know how I said You learn stuff about the language and about the way we thought back then by the words that we use. This is one of them. Meskei means I'm sad or I'm sorry. There is no difference. Now think about that for a minute. We bump into someone, we say, you know, oh, sorry, you know. And in today's society, there's a difference between saying I'm sorry or saying I'm sad. But in Mi'kmaq language, if you looked at someone and said meskei, it meant that you were sad or sorry. And there's no difference in the meaning because back then, if you were sad, you genuinely were sorry about something. And if you were sorry about something, you felt bad about something, so you were sad.
Yeah.
So sorry wasn't exactly a Mi'kmaq concept, was it?
It was, we felt bad
Yeah.
because this happened.
Exactly.
That we were sad, and we were sorry. It was the same thing. Because you couldn't have one without the other.
Makes sense, actually.
They went hand in hand. So when you think about it, that again shows us how we thought. You know, it wasn't a flippant, you know, thing that we would say to someone. It was something we genuinely meant when we said it. Because if you were really sorry about something, you had to be sad. All right? So that to me shows a lot about how we think and how we felt back then about things. All right. Let's try a different one. See if you can tell me what letter. I think I might actually have a lot of these in alphabetical order, which is kind of okay. Un.
It probably sounds like B.
Moho.
It sounds like an O.
You're closer.
Oh, it's a vowel sound.
Un
L?
Oh, no.
You?
is a U.
You.
Oh.
Yeah.
So when you think about the vowels, the only one that says its own name is the O. O.
Okay.
Is
It's
the
a U.
You.
Interesting.
And you'll also notice how I said not
It's a long
So it has what?
apostrophe. Yeah.
Got it. All right. So this next one is kind of a favorite of mine. You know how like you shouldn't say bad words, right? You guys know you should never say bad words, right? Yeah. Okay. So I had to really work at that because bad habits. So I adopted a couple of Mi'kmaq words that are not bad words at all, but I use them instead of bad words. To me, the idea of it is bad, or it just sounds like, you know? So this next one is, and we're going to say it first, Besach.
Bessa?
Besach.
Bessa?
Bessa?
Is that
Besach.
Bessa?
Besach.
Bessa.
There you go.
And is
Besach.
that-
Bessa.
and
That's
I
when you got
think
it.
it's-
Nope.
and
Do you know what? Do you know what that is?
It's a,
Means snow.
But it sounds bad.
But it sounds bad. So
It means snow?
it means snow. Besach.
really weird.
Well, when you think about it, it's not so much that it's weird, it's just that it's not something you've ever heard before. Okay, how about this one? It's a hard one. Let's really try it. Obliga muja whipsach.
Oh my goodness.
So we'll slow it down. Obliga muj. A whipsach. Do you know what that means?
What's that?
That actually means snow too, but it's a very special kind of snow. And it's a very funny translation. It means fluffy bunny snow.
Fluffy bunny.
So you know when the big fluffy flakes fall, the really like big ones, that's the snow they're talking about it, and they refer to it as fluffy bunny snow because it's so big and it looks fluffy,
That's different.
right? I like it. That one's cute. All right. So how about me do another example. Mushun. Mushun. Mushun.
Muskun. Muskun.
Mushun.
Muskun.
There you go.
Muskun.
So, what letter does that start with?
Starts like an M. Sounds like an M, but
You got it. See, you guys doubt yourself. I told you, it's
Yeah.
easy. Once you understand them few changes, there are a few, but the rest of the letters just
Yeah,
sound
but
like the rest of the
but you
letters.
only learn that with practice, with using the word.
Exactly, which is why I'm getting you guys to say
Yeah.
it. All right, so how about I try to find a different one? Oh, how about this one? Big ones.
What?
What was that?
Big ones.
Big Mamos?
Big one.
Big Mamos?
Big ones.
Big Mamos. Big Mamos.
So what does that start with?
Sounds like a B, but
So B is, because remember, B is one of the ones that changes. Big ones.
P?
Yeah.
Yes.
He sounds like
So, yeah, and that means it's good to see you again. You haven't seen someone in a long time. They're looking fine. They look good. Like they're looking healthy, and and you missed them. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. That one's a nice one. Let me see if I can find some different letters. Okay, kids will like this one. Big D. Big D.
Big D. Big D. It sounds like Big
Not
D.
Big D.
Big D.
D.
Big D.
Big D.
Big T.
Big D. All right. So what does that start with? Big D.
P.
Yep. All right. You want to know what that one says?
Say it again.
It means I fart.
Yeah, but what? Say it in.
Big D.
That's
Oh, I got a couple of giggles on that side. I'm doing good. All right.
Charlie.
You're supposed to be. I told you it wasn't going to be all boring. It's fine. All right. Let
Charlie.
me see. Say bye.
Listen.
Say bye.
Say bye.
Say bye.
Say bye.
So what letter does that start with?
Sounds like an S.
Yeah. And say bye means this morning.
This morning.
This morning.
Say bye.
Say bye. Say bye. Say bye.
Bye.
That we should
Okay.
remember. For newfies, we should understand. We should remember that one very easily.
Say bye. Say bye.
Say bye.
But you know what? Stuff like that helps you remember is really good. Shane got a weird one for the sky. It's got something to do with Attila Hun riding a moose in the sky or something with a hook. I can't remember all of it, but it's Moose Hunamug or something. So it's Moose Hun Amug, and it's in the sky, so it's sky blue.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't understand his
His concept.
way he thinks it, but it works for him. But what I'm saying is if you hear a word and it reminds you of something else, and that helps you remember, it's all about what works for you. Is everybody learns differently. Some people learn better with pictures, some work better with words, some work better with actions. There are so many different ways to learn, and you just have to find the right one that works for you.
telescope.
That'd still be seeing. Think about it. Right? So yeah, so that was another one. All right, let me see. Unsmoney Unsmoney gay.
That's funny.
There you go. You gotta get some attitude. Yes, yes, no, yes. So, what is that? What the unsmoney gay? What does that start with?
A.
There you go. Look. Unsmoney gay. It means right now. You'll notice that when I say certain words, I'm very animated and impassioned, and I make faces and I point and all this. Okay, first of all, I do that in English, so. But the other thing to remember is we're very passionate people. When we talk, we don't talk like this,
No.
right? There's a lot to be said about the feeling behind the words. And the reason I'm saying this is because a perfect example of that is midgecy.
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 Okay, now I want you to listen very careful to what and how I say this time. Midgecy, what am I doing? I'm commanding you to eat.
Oh, to eat.
Okay? But if I say, midgecy, that's a question. Hear the difference? The intonation, that's what it's called, the intonation in your voice, in other words, how it sounds, makes a difference. There's no difference in spelling. None. A good example, bikti, the I fart. So biktin. Biktin. Did you fart? Or biktin, you fart. There's no question about it. I know. You know what I mean? It's the question comes from how it sounds. There's no spelling difference. There's no right? So especially when you're trying to learn something, being animated helps. Because let's say I'm sitting down with a fluent speaker. I'm not fluent. I wish I was, but I'm not. But if I'm trying really hard and I can't get the word out properly, but they're looking at me, they may actually be able to figure it out by the clues that I'm giving, by how I'm moving and the expression on my face. It can be so important. Just like our letters, if you mess up a consonant in front of a vowel, but you get the vowel right, there's a good chance you'll still be understood. The vowels, there's a lot more weight on them. So there is that as well. As long as you're trying, and most fluent speakers, every fluent speaker that I've ever met, they're not going to look down on you for trying. They're going to help you. I mean, if you get it a little wrong, most of them, especially the older ones, they'll grab you by the cheeks or the chin, and they'll say it again and make you watch them, and then you repeat it, just like I'm getting you guys to do with me now. And you practice. And then when you get it, they'll be, and they'll go on. But even if they don't understand, they will ask, and then they'll help you. Like, they don't want to see the language stop. They want it to survive. And this is who it's going to survive with.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
We hope. We hope.
Yes. Well, that's it. Some will, some won't. But the fact is, if it's out there.
Yes, exposure.
Yes. Okay, so I think we've been going just about an hour now. So we're going to take a little break. Yeah? Get up and move because you've been sat down. And if you guys are like moving around.